If you ever blow dried your fussy hair and wondered why it felt dry, brittle, or just completely different afterwards, this video is going to change the way you approach heat forever. Most people think heat damage is just about temperature. It is not. There is actual science behind what happens to the hair shaft when heat is applied to it, and once you understand this, you will completely change the way that you approach heat, the way that you apply heat to your hair, and you will never blow dry or straighten your hair in the wrong way again. I'm going to break down the science in very simple terms, show you exactly how to prep your hair, what tools and settings to use, and walk you through the safest technique for blow drying or straightening fussy, kinky, coarse, natural hair. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Eve, and if you're new here, this channel is about simple and practical hair care for natural hair, which also applies for relaxed hair and other hair types or ways that you wear your hair. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Now, before we get into the techniques, I want to spend just a few minutes on science, because I genuinely believe that understanding why something damages your hair first is the most powerful tool towards finding a solution afterwards. So here is what actually happens when you apply heat to your hair. Your hair strand is made up of a protein called keratin. Inside that strand, there are two types of bonds: hydrogen bonds and disulfide bonds. Hydrogen bonds are temporary and are broken down by water and heat every single time that you wet or blow dry your hair. This is completely normal, and they reform when your hair completely cools down, which is why curl pattern returns after a blowout or a blow dry. But here is where fussy hair specifically is vulnerable. Fussy hair has the tightest curl pattern among all hair types, which means it has more curves and bends per strand compared to all other hair types. And so every one of these curves is a potential weak point. And so when heat is applied unevenly or at too high a temperature, it doesn't just break down the hydrogen bonds, but it starts to permanently alter the disulfide bonds. And once those are altered, they do not come back. You need to understand this before you start to blow dry the hair. That is when heat damage occurs. That is when your curl pattern stops returning no matter how much you wet your hair. That is why sections of your hair start to look straighter even after washing repeatedly, especially after repeated heat use. The goal of safe blow drying is to use just enough heat to break only the hydrogen bonds without ever reaching the temperature that affects the disulfide bonds. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now that you understand what we're working with, let's talk about prepping your hair before a single pass of heat comes close to it. Because if you don't know by now, when it comes to hair care, preparation is everything, and I preach proper preparation. Whether you want to do a protective style, whether you want to do a short stem style, whether you want to do heat, or even whether you want to wash your hair, you need to prepare for every step so that your hair does not suffer consequences that could have been avoided. So how do you prep fussy hair before blow drying? Now, this is applicable for fussy hair because fussy hair is where we tend to face the most challenges. Other hair types may straighten easier, but when it comes to fussy hair, you can be straightening your fussy hair, and when you just turn your head and turn back, the hair has returned or reverted back to its natural texture. So with fussy hair, you need to be more careful, and you need to take more time and be more patient so that when you straighten it, it actually stays and you get the hair that you want at the end of the day. The first thing you're going to do is be meticulous when it comes to your wash day. Wash day is literally the start of everything and every hairstyle prep. You need to make sure your shampoo is moisturizing and you cleanse your scalp and your hair very well. When you condition, you need to make sure you take your time to separate and detangle each strand of hair. When it is time to deep condition, and I advise you don't skip deep conditioning, you apply your deep conditioning products to your hair, leave it on for the amount of time stipulated. You can use a heated cap. Wear that so that more heat penetrates the hair and the product circulates evenly and gets to work even better. And then you go ahead and rinse out the deep conditioner, moisturize the hair, seal in that moisture with sealant, and then you're ready to blow dry. Deep conditioning and washing your hair is very powerful when it comes to blow drying. There are some salons that you enter and you want to wash your hair and do a blow dry, and they just wash your hair with shampoo and conditioner and start to blow dry the hair without even moisturizing. conditioning because they believe that is the best way that you will get the hair to be straight for longer. That is just absurd, and you should never allow somebody come close to your hair with heat without properly conditioning the hair and moisturizing it. Second, you're going to rinse with cool water, not hot water. You can start your wash day with warm water to open up the cuticles, but when it's time to rinse out all of the products at the end of the wash, you need to go with cool water. This will close the cuticles and seal in the moisture into the hair, meaning that your hair is not going to dry out and your strands are going to be protected before you go to blow dry. If you start with warm water, you open up the cuticles, and if you finish with warm water, you're going to leave the cuticles still open and vulnerable to damage. And then you're going to detangle completely before you go to straighten. Make sure that each section of hair, you can easily comb it from your scalp all the way to the end. Make sure you separate the hair well, put it into sections. Detangle thoroughly and twist or braid each section after moisturizing so that it does not tangle back and make the process of straightening harder. And number 4, do not blow dry soaking wet hair. This goes hand in hand with you not blow drying your hair right after washing without moisturizing. Squeeze out all the excess water from the hair. Your hair can still be damp from the products you've applied to moisturize. If you go and start your blow dry on soaking wet hair, you're going to expose your hair to more damage, and you're going to take longer before the hair gets dry. Once you get these 4 steps right, you've already done majority of the work. The next thing you're going to pay attention to will be the tools you need to blow dry your hair. Let's start with the blow dryer itself. Now, if you didn't already know, not all blow dryers are created equal. Some blow dryers are more powerful than others, some are mild, and some are just to give you a very light straightening. Number 1, Ionic technology. Ionic blow dryers emit negative ions, which means your hair dries quicker with less heat exposure overall. Less heat time equals less damage. That's just it. So look for the Ionic feature on your blow dryer when you go to purchase. It's usually labeled clearly on the box, so you will see it when you go to look for a blow dryer. The second feature of the blow dryer you're going to look out for is the concentrator nozzle attachment. This is usually that extra brush or extra vent that is added to your blow dryer. It comes with the tool, so you're supposed to attach that to your blow dryer so that instead of the heat to go all over the place and touch on the sections you're not working on, it can focus on the section you're working on and concentrate all of the heat towards that direction. Now, if you're new to blow drying or you're trying to learn how to blow dry your hair in the correct way, it's recommended that you use this every time you want to blow dry. Personally, the blow dryer I use currently, I don't use that because the concentrator nozzle that came with the blow dryer never used to stick with the blow dryer. It used to come off every single time that I was using it for my hair, but that particular blow dryer blow dries the hair at very low heat, so I have stuck with that. I just learned to control the air that comes out so that it does not spread all over the place. Now, heat settings. This is where most people get it wrong. They turn the blow dryer to the highest heat because they want to finish faster, and while this is understandable in rare occasions, it shouldn't be a permanent occasion. What you will do is, for every blow dryer that you work with, you are going to see the indication where the heat is highest, the heat is medium, and the heat is lowest. And sometimes just by manipulating or touching on the buttons of the blow dryer, when you push the button in a certain direction, the heat that comes out may be too hot. When you push it in another direction, it may be too cold. And when you push it in a neutral direction, it will be warm or lukewarm. When it comes to blow drying, high heat is what crosses the line between hydrogen bond breaking and disulfide bond damage. The cool or warm button is your best shot, not the highest heat button. And now you may be wondering, what products do I use if I want to blow dry my hair correctly? Before we go into technique, let's quickly cover what to put on your hair before heat touches it, because this step is probably the most important of all of them. I always tell people how you would know if the heat protectant you use worked. Once you apply a heat protectant to your hair and then you go into blow dry, that smell of burning hair is going to disappear. But if you don't apply a heat protectant and you go into blow dry, you just be smelling burning hair, burning paper all over the place. and you will know your hair is at risk. The first thing you need is a leave-in conditioner. Remember I said moisturize your hair after washing. You will need a leave-in conditioner, so apply this to your hair in sections if your hair is on the longer side. Then you will need a sealant to seal in that water and moisture from the leave-in into the hair and make sure the hair doesn't dry out. Apply the leave-in to your hair while the hair is still damp. That moisture and sealing is going to act as a buffer between your hair and the heat that's going to be applied, so the hair is not going to dry too much and it's not going to become brittle. It's not also going to break, and you don't have to worry about that. The second is a heat protectant. This is a non-negotiable. A good heat protectant coats the hair shaft and raises the temperature threshold that your hair can tolerate before any damage happens. I'm going to link my Amazon store so you can check out for the heat protectant added to that store. Those are my recommended heat protectants for low porosity 4C hair and generally 4B hair. So you can use this heat protectant and your hair will be good when you go into straighten and come out on the other end. Heat protectants are designed to smoothen the cuticle and make the blow drying process easy and more efficient. So apply these products to the hair section by section, your moisturizer, your sealant, and then your heat protectant, so that when it's time for you to go to blow dry your hair, you do start to finish without worrying about wasting too much time or your hair being damaged when you are done. And now let's talk about the safest blow dry technique for 4C hair in particular. You want to think of blow drying in sections, not your whole head at the same time. This is what salons get wrong and it irks me so much. If you have long hair, if you have 4C hair, even 4A, 4B hair, even type 3 hair for goodness sake, and your hair is long, now talk about hair being thick, you can't simply blow dry the entire hair at the same time. Those of us who've gone to the salon to get a blow dry know what I'm talking about. If you don't tell them how to blow dry your hair, the people will just go in with a comb and their blow dryer, and they don't even start from the ends. They start from the scalp and push all the hair in an attempt to blow dry. Just wrong technique, wrong application, highest heat, sometimes no heat protectants, just doing everything wrong and costing you your hard-earned hair. I'm going to attach a video here so you can see how I blow dry my hair. This is the exact technique that I follow to blow dry my hair. I do 3 things. I work in sections, I use the low tension method, and I keep the heat moving. I don't focus on one part of the hair for too long. So follow this exact technique if you want to blow dry your hair. I had posted this to my Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, but just in case you didn't catch that, this is the technique you need to be following, more so if you have 4C, 4B hair. So once you've started off with your medium heat for each section and you've straightened the hair sufficiently, you're going to finish off with a cool shot of air. Do this for about 10 to 15 seconds to set the style and to close the cuticle and trap moisture to prevent the hair from being dry, brittle, and causing breakage. Then clip it up or put it into rope twist to preserve that stretch and move on to the next section. And that is the full technique. When you do this following the exact steps that I've outlined in this video, at the end of the blow dry session, your hair will feel soft, healthy, and it will look shiny instead of feeling brittle, looking dry, and breaking all over the place. That is the science and technique of blow drying 4C hair safely and correctly. From understanding what heat actually does to your hair strand, to preparing correctly, to picking and using the right products, to doing the actual correct technique, this is how you're going to use heat in a way that benefits your hair and gives you what you want. If you found this video helpful, I hope you leave a comment down below. I hope you also give us a thumbs up to help with engagement, to help more people that need content like this to see it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.